You know you love me, I know you care. Just shout.
Good morning, YouTube. Good morning, friends and family. My name is Chike. I'm a Nigerian YouTuber based in Japan. Today I am back again.
Remember what mama told me, brown skin girl.
Alright, I'll be telling you 10 amazing facts about Japan. And number one is that the Japanese name for Japan is Nihon or Nippon. So if you're wondering what Nihon or Nippon means, it means Japan. And I remember when I was in secondary school, I bought a DVD player for myself. The name was Nippon America. So I was like, what's the meaning of this Nippon? And now I know. The Japanese name for Japan means Nihon or Nippon. So wherever you see Nihon or Nippon, it means Japan. Before I get into my second point, I would like you to note that Japan has the highest life expectancy in the world. In Japan, the life expectancy is 86 years. So it is 81.7 years for men and 88 years for women. It means an average Japanese man lives up to 81.7 years and an average Japanese woman lives up to 88 years. Now that brings me to my second point. There are more seniors in Japan than kids. Now, two things are involved here. The old people live very long and Japanese people don't really give birth that much. So a lot of factors have contributed why Japanese people live long. It's like number one, peace. There's absolute peace here in Japan and good nutrition. Japanese people eat a lot of delicious and nutritious food and also advanced medical and pharmacological technologies. So that's number one. On the other hand, Japan has low fertility rate. Like the total fertility rate in Japan is 1.41 kids born per woman, as against 5.53 kids born per woman in Nigeria, and even higher in some other countries. So that explains the fact that Japan has more senior citizens than kids. Number three, Japan has one of the lowest crime rates in the world, and I can actually relate to this a lot. I remember the first time I came to Japan, I lost my wallet, and I had a lot of valuable things there in the wallet, and almost all the money I had was in my wallet because I was just new. So I called a friend. He said, don't worry, you'll find your wallet. He said I should just go to the police station and report, of which I did that. I went to the closest police station to me and I made the report there. I told them I lost my wallet. They asked me where I lost it. I didn't even know where I lost my wallet. They said, okay, don't worry, we will call you as soon as we find it, that I should go back home. So I went back home, and just within a few hours, like less than 2 hours, I got a call from the police station. They said, come, we found your wallet. I was like, really? I went back there. Everything in the wallet was complete. Nothing missing. I didn't lose anything in the wallet. So I collected the wallet. They just gave me the person's number that I should call. I called. The person didn't pick up. I just sent a message. The person never replied. So that's number one. Again, it happened to me the second time. I lost my wallet. I also found it within a few minutes after reporting to the police station. One thing about Japan is that Japan is very peaceful and the crime rate in Japan is quite low. And usually there are no cases of terrorism like armed robbery and civil crimes. They don't really exist in this country, Japan. I also remember 2 years ago I traveled to my country, Nigeria. I went to Nigeria. I was in Nigeria for 1 month. I forgot to lock my door, and I live in an estate. This is a very big estate that has over 30 buildings, and each building has about 30 flats. I went to Nigeria. I forgot to lock my door. I was there for 1 month. When I came back to Japan, everything was still intact in my house. Nobody entered. Just to tell you that the security in Japan is massive. And again, one thing is that in Japan, nobody is allowed to own a gun. It's a crime to own a gun in Japan. It's also a crime to own a bullet in Japan. If you happen to own a gun and a bullet in Japan, it's even a bigger crime. Then, if you shoot a gun in Japan, not even talking about shooting someone, if you fire a gun in Japan, that could lead you to a life imprisonment. So you see why the crime rate in Japan is one of the lowest in the world. Japan is a very peaceful country. Number 4, Japan has the highest number of vending machines in the world. Japan has the highest number of vending machines in the world. Japan has about 5.6 million vending machines. So you can virtually see vending machine everywhere. So it means that there is one vending machine for 23 people living in Japan. And this has been attributed to the fact that the country has one of the lowest crime rates in the world, and vending machines are rarely vandalized. So that's why they just set up vending machines here and there. And honestly, it's very useful. Number 5, to take a power nap in Japan is very common. So what is a power nap? A power nap is a short sleep taken within working day just to enhance the mental alertness. And it's socially acceptable to take a nap at work. Seriously, yeah, it is. As far as you're not tucked away in your bed somewhere, it is socially acceptable to take a power nap in Japan. So that's why when people go on a date, when people are in the subway, in the train, they just sleep off, and it's not a problem. It's socially acceptable here in Japan. Number 6, Japan has about 6,852 islands. Japan itself is an island. I remember the first time I came to Japan and the plane was descending. I looked out through the window. It was like we were landing on water, on a sea. I was so scared. But when we got closer to the ground, I just discovered that we were actually landing on a land. So Japan itself is an island. So that explains the fact why Japan has 6,852 islands. And they are very beautiful islands. One of these days, I'm gonna go to one of the nearest islands here, and you'll see how beautiful that place is. Number 7, the literacy rate in Japan is almost 100%. Actually, the literacy rate in Japan is 99%. So what is literacy rate? Literacy rate is the percentage of the ability of the people who are over 15 years to read and write about their daily life activities. So almost everybody above the age of 15 years in Japan can read and write. That's a very good one about Japan. Number 8, some of the world-renowned companies are Japanese companies like Toyota, Panasonic, Mitsubishi, Toshiba, Honda, and so on. So Japan has a lot of world-renowned companies. Number 9, there is emphasis on manners in Japanese schools, and students in elementary school from 1st grade to 4th grade don't really take exams. So they have a lot of lessons about manners, how they should talk to their elders, how they should relate to one another, how they should relate to people. So they are not really, they don't write exams until they get to 4th grade in the elementary school, but they receive a lot of lectures on manners and how they should relate to other people. Number 9, Japan is the oldest nation in the world that has never been invaded by any foreign country. So that's why Japan has been able to retain and maintain their culture and their history. So Japanese history and culture is very sweet and very strong. They don't joke with it because they have never been invaded by any foreign country. Number 10, to clean is part of education in Japan. So in most schools, when you go to most schools in Japan, just the way they have mathematics time, English time, they also have cleaning time. Everybody cleans. They don't really have like cleaners, paid cleaners that cleans their schools. The students and the teachers do the cleaning by themselves. So cleaning is part of education in Japan. So that explains why the last World Cup, Japanese people, when they went to watch a soccer game, the game was between Japan and Colombia. Japanese fans certainly had reason to go wild on that night. Their side won their opening game, beating Colombia 2-1 and securing their team's first victory against a South American side. But after the team swept Colombia off the pitch, Japanese fans also did their share of sweeping, meticulously cleaning up their rows and seats in the stadium. They were equipped with large rubbish bags they brought along. The fans marched through the rows, picking up rubbish to leave the place just as neat as they had found it. This is an important aspect of Japanese culture, making sure that everything is absolutely clean, and that's the case. So, thank you very much for watching. I hope you really enjoyed and learned new things about Japan. If you have not subscribed to this channel, please do. God bless you. See you later.
You know you love me.